the right tab. This one here.
As more and more people come in, which is great, but we'll get started.
Okay, you can see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Just to make sure, I'm still new to this stuff, so I'm still...
You're good. All right.
Got another minute or two, and I think we are good to go.
Definitely. Valentin from France. Where about in France? Então, Yuri, você in Rio de Janeiro, or are you in Sao Paulo? Where are you? In Brazil? Somewhere else? Rio, fantastic. Love that city. And a very crazy, both Carnival and also New Year's there, which was insane. I remember Carnival, I think it was in Lapa. There was this day where everybody was dressed as Nintendo characters. I think it's like a thing, like a day there. There's a blocko there where everybody dresses up as Mario, Luigi, Bowser, the Prince. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was very funny. Very, very cool.
I love
Yeah,
it.
he said there it is. It's nice. Belo Horizonte, very nice. Okay, so we have more people from Brazil. That's very, very cool. Oh, Marcha Nerd. Okay, that's good to know. Now I know. Okay, that's that's so cool. Okay. Very nice, Yuri. Thanks for that. All right, let's get started.
Oh, perfect. So let's just start. So everyone, once again, someone who just recently joined or has been with us for the last few minutes. So welcome. We're happy to have you with us today for this video selling masterclass, where we'd like to share these proven tactics on how to drive sales engagement using personalized videos. So I'll start with the short introductions. Hi there, my name is Alex. I'm with Reply.io. If you're not familiar with who we are, we're a sales engagement platform for personalized and targeted outreach via multiple channels. Right now, I'm an account executive. I work with EMEA customers and prospects. I started as an SDR, so I did my fair share of outreach, recording videos, making calls, sending emails. So now I'm doing the demos of the platform. Yaniv, how about you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. I'm Yaniv. As my title says on the page, says EMEA Sales and Partnerships. What it essentially means is I head up Vidyard in EMEA. Vidyard is a video platform for business. And the reason I'm here essentially is to start inspiring all of you to start using video in your sales communication. When prospecting, throughout the sales process, do something unique and communicate in a human way. So hopefully at the end of this session, you'll all be inspired to, I guess, bring out your inner Hollywood or Bollywood and start creating videos yourself. So I'm very excited to be here and really looking forward to get started.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we'll jump right in. Right before we get to the whole process and to the best practices, first would really like for you guys to get back to the chat and share with us and answer this question. Have you ever received a personal video from a salesperson? Please let us know. We'd like to know what kind of crowd we have here today.
Just type in the chat yes or no. Exactly. That's great. Okay, most people know. I have not. Yes, from a realtor. Okay, very cool. What was the video like? Maybe you can type, hey, what was the video about? Was it to show the house? For the people that say yes, what kind of video was it? Maybe you want to type in one sentence. That'd be cool. Okay, you're a heavy user. Love that. Okay, outbound. Okay, SEO pitch. Oh, it was an AE from Vidyard. That's funny. Nice. Who was it? Karina? Okay, Maria is saying with the realtor that to show the house and introduce themselves. Okay, very cool. Yeah. Wow, 500 plus Vidyards then already. Yes, amazing. Love that. Just direct meetings. Okay. Very cool. So there's some people that have engaged with video, but the majority I think said no. So that's going to be interesting here. All right.
How about
to...
another question in line here?
Yeah.
Regarding getting the video, how about sending the video?
Mm-hmm.
I have the the right question. Yep, now I have the right question up now.
Yeah, so type again in the chat, yes or no, if you ever sent a personal. I think some of you already said it, but if you ever sent that video out to a prospect or a customer.
I have, yes, so we have some yeses,
Some
no
yeses.
on Vidyard and Loom.
Yeah, I think Yuri, you mentioned that you sent. Okay, got it. Most people have never sent. Some people, okay, Sam is saying on Vidyard and Loom. Yeah, great. Okay, Yuri said outbound video, fantastic. Okay, CMS tutorials, love that. Dominic is saying yes. Okay, great. So we have like a nice mix of some people that are already engaged with videos, and then it will be great because we're going to talk about some best practices around it, specifically within an automated motion. And we'll look at the agenda in a moment, but also for newcomers. It's going to be very interesting to show how and why you should get started with videos. So thanks for those answers. Alex, go ahead, and then we can go to the agenda.
Yep, definitely. So kind of jumping right into the agenda, we'll start with a general overview of why video is so popular these days and why is it such an effective way to get your messaging out to your prospects. Then we'll continue to tell you how to get started, where to begin, what kind of videos to record, how to do that within Vidyard, then how you can send those within your outreach campaigns using Reply, how you can measure the results afterwards to keep really tweaking and improving your approach when it comes to video and outreach altogether. And we'll wrap up with the use cases of where and how you can use video starting from prospecting throughout the whole cycle and when closing the deal and post-close as well. Okay, so we'll jump right in. Yanib, sorry, now I know the right stress on your name.
That's good. That's all good.
Awesome. So I'm giving you the mic to take over.
Yeah, so that's really good. We can, if you want, you can stop sharing, or you.
Mine. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to continue to talk about this before we actually go into the why video? Because I think you wanted to talk a bit about multi-channel, and then I'll share my screen afterwards.
That's correct, right? I kind of got ahead of myself here.
No worries, no worries.
So I wanted to kind of do a quick intro because we're all looking to use video throughout the sales process and in our outreach campaigns in the beginning. And when it comes to outreach, coming from our experience within Reply and their experience of our users, the most effective approach in your prospecting would be to get your wording out, get your message out to your prospects via as many channels of communication as possible. Definitely email is one of the oldest channels, of course, the one that is still quite effective. So we always recommend using a good mix of touch points throughout your campaigns, automatic emails combined with targeted, personalized emails, phone calls, text messages, all types of LinkedIn touch points, connect request messages, and other social media platforms. But as if you're already using this multi-channel approach in your outreach, there is still a good way to improve that. And the way to improve that would be to actually use personalized videos. And that can be done. You can easily add video to at least 3 of the channels right now that I described. And the ones that I went over, actually the ones that we have available within Reply. So here you can see that you can add video to your automatic emails as well as your manual emails, and also add video to your LinkedIn touch points. Okay.
Very good. So if you can stop the screen share, I'll go into the screen share and I will talk about why we should actually really start thinking about using video to really boost your outreach and really start thinking about making that one of your main channels of reaching out to prospects and customers. Okay, so I'll go into a bit present mode. I'll go out of it in a bit because I want to show you some actual live examples, but we'll start with why, and especially why now. Also, by the way, as a house rule, feel free to put in questions in the chat whenever you want. We'll try to stop at specific points to answer those questions. And then in the end, we'll also have some time to answer Q&A as well. Okay, so 2 observations on why video right now. So Cisco does a research each year that looks at the amount of internet traffic and how much of it is video. Okay, so we already have a projection that by 2022, which is next year already, 82% of internet traffic will come from video, right? We already know it's true, especially since we all got in lockdowns, records on Netflix, record viewers on YouTube, Disney Channel. But now if you scroll through a LinkedIn, right, Instagram stories, almost everything is becoming visual content, right? So what that means is, it's because we're watching video probably as much as we have ever watched in the history of ourselves, right, as humans, right? That means that our customers are also doing that. So that means that they are primed for video, right? They're primed to watch video. But what's very interesting is if we then actually look at the sales profession and the way we actually communicate in the sales process with them, a lot of it is text-based. So there's a gap there, right? There's a gap between the way people want to consume content, which is increasingly visual, and that's going to continue, and the way we actually communicate with them, which is a lot text emails, text LinkedIn messages. So we need to bridge that gap, and video is perfect, right, to put in a sales process to match the way people want to consume content and the way we actually communicate with them. Okay, so that's observation number one. Observation number two, right, and there's a bunch of companies that do research around this. HubSpot is one of those companies that analyze thousands of sales reps over a variety of industries throughout the world and ask, what is the number one most challenging part of the sales process? And we all know, right, especially the people that are in sales here, there are tons of challenges, right, to win and close a deal. But in the last 5 years that this research has come out, by far, every time the number one challenge, as you can see here on the screen, it's the first one. It's hard to connect or get in touch or connect with prospects. And that has become even harder since we all started going into lockdown, right? So let me see if I can use this annotation tool here, if it actually works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. But what you're seeing here is, essentially what we're seeing here is these orange bars that are sales emails, and this blue line is response rates. So around March last year, when all the lockdowns started happening, the amount of sales emails and specifically prospecting emails started skyrocketing. But the amount of responses, which is that blue line that you're seeing, has actually gone down. So the amount of people responding and actually starting conversations has gone down. So we need to find a new way to actually cut through the noise and actually start having conversation. And that's where video really comes in, okay? So what I wanna show you here is, again, before I show an example is and how to use video, this is the status quo for a lot of us that haven't started using video yet, right? Hi there, my name is X. I tried to call you, couldn't reach you, right? So then we start writing an email. Couldn't reach you, my name is X, I'm from company Y. Click here for a case study about us, right? Book some time with me, respond to this, right? I'm sure a lot of you are sending these types of messages, right? Now, we're all targeting the same people, the same decision makers, right? The C-suite, the VPs of different types of roles, and they're getting on average anywhere between 50 and 100 of these prospecting messages a week, according to our research, okay? That's why response rates are really low. So a question here, before we look at the video use case, I'm gonna ask you, if you're sending 100 cold prospecting messages, like these, so text-based prospecting messages, 100 of them, to people that never heard of you, how many responses are you getting? Just type in the chat your answer. 100 cold prospecting messages, how many people actually respond to you?
We have 2.
Okay, 2, 1, 5, 0,
0.
2, 5, 1, 3, right? No one is going over 5. Oh, there we have 10, 20. Sam, I want to know what you're doing. That's amazing, a 20% conversion. Where do you work? Google? Everybody knows you? Okay, no, I'm kidding. But that's really good, right? Most of you are saying 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And that's, we know actually on the benchmark that it's close to 2%, 1.8%. That's the average in cold prospecting, blended worldwide over all industries. Okay. Now there's discrepancies between different industries and seniority levels, but that's the best practice here. Okay. So now we benchmark that and start doing something completely unique and different, which is to actually send out a video. So we're doing, instead of that email that screams, I'm a sales email, please delete me, right? We're actually sending out a video that intrigues somebody. Hey, what is this? It's a standout. It's what we call a pattern interrupt, right? And we see, first of all, we did an analysis on click-through rate. So we blended, we looked at clicks. So People that send a text-based message, if they put a link to their website or a case study, best practice click-through rate is about 11%. That's best practice. We did measurements of a variety of industry. Of the people that open a video email, the click-through rate is anywhere between 50 and 76%. That's already a huge uptick. More important, response rate. Okay, so over a variety of industries, we have a blended growth of 3 to 6x in additional people responding and booking meetings with you. Okay, why? It's unique, it stands out. So that's why, hey, somebody's on my LinkedIn profile, what is that? They click on it and then they get engaged with it, right? So I'll play a couple seconds so you can understand what a video looks like for the people that have never seen this, okay? So I'll click on this, I get to a page where you can actually watch it, and I'll play it a little bit for you so you can see that, okay? Just put the sound on so you can hear that.
Hey Kip, how are you doing? It's Yaniv here, Vidyard. Hope all is well with you in Boston. I'm on your LinkedIn profile here, and I thought, hey, let me also do something a bit different, show my face. Hope you can appreciate it, and also hope all is well at HubSpot and that you got through these last couple months all right. Reason for the reach out is I'm on your LinkedIn profile, and I was just scrolling through. Obviously, you're the CMO of HubSpot right now, but I saw that you had a lot of other marketing roles, specifically around demand generation, which then prompted me to look on the HubSpot website. It's a beautiful website. I did notice, however, while scrolling through it, that you're not using any video on your website.
Right, so I won't go through the whole video because that's my pitch, right? You don't use video, you should, let's talk, right? But ask and put in the chat, right? And feel free to say if you like it or if you don't like it. Just put in the chat in one sentence what your thoughts were around this motion of reaching out to someone here. And then we can talk about that. You could be positive, you could be negative around it, okay? Just type in the chat what your thoughts were. We can have a look at that. Okay, unique. Sonia sending unique. Loved it. Going to copy. Very good. You're very welcome. Very welcome to copy. Kapil saying good. It's in the face. Maria saying creative. Seems a lot of work. Okay, Matt, good point. I'll show you actually why it's not a lot of work. So we'll look at that in one moment. Okay. Brett, great, but too long. So I'll talk to you about best practices in a moment. The sweet spot from a prospecting perspective is about anywhere between 50 and 70 seconds. That's the sweet spot. Too short, you don't get to be personal enough to actually get a response. Too long, people drop off. It's a good point. Yeah, Javel's asking exactly how long should this be? We'll talk about that, okay? So yeah, you can do this in mass emails. So Shahid, this is less of a marketing motion, and this is more for salespeople that are trying to engage with individual leads and prospect. There are also ways of doing that en masse, but that's a bit out of the scope of this conversation. You can, however, create one video and then send it out en masse. A bit less effective though. Okay. The reason it's less effective because then essentially you're just sending out a commercial to hundreds of people versus a personal message to someone that's tailored to that specific person. Okay. So before I show you, I just show you an example here, what that looked like. Let me actually show you real quick how, or actually I'll show you, before I show you how to do it, I'll walk you through key factors for success and why it works. First of all, there's the 4 E's, right? It's engaging, it's emotional. You can speak with emotion in a video. You can't do it in text. You can educate in a video in a way that you can't do in text. And you can show empathy, right? Especially in this world, it's very powerful to be able to do that. Now, from a key factors for success, there's about 7 of them, okay? I'll go through them relatively quickly because I want to give Alex enough time, obviously, to go through way more use cases and talk tracks around this, okay? But the key factors for success, I'll walk you through it for the people that especially already started doing this, is number 1 factor for success is to smile. It's about 50% you're already done if you smile and are friendly. We analyzed thousands of videos. We looked at people that smile and are friendly, get a way higher response rates, and people that don't and are very focused and serious, right? Because you want to be open, you want to be friendly. Don't overdo it, by the way. We have seen videos of people who have like this maniacal Joker-esque smile, right? But be friendly, okay? Second component, script. So in the same way that when we started our sales careers, right, as SDRs, BDRs, account executives, the first couple of times you were on the phone, you had a question line, right? Things to say, right? How to open, right? What to ask. Same thing here with video. Best practice, people that are doing this well, they write down in a script what it is that they want to say in a few bullet points and then do it over and over and over again. Those become most successful, okay? Third, make it really personal. So as you remember here from the video that I showed you here is, I'm on someone's LinkedIn profile. I say, hey, how you doing? And for Alex, I can say, hey, Alex, how you doing in the UK or Ukraine, right? Hope you had a great weekend or looking forward to the weekend. I saw on your LinkedIn that you're an AE at Reply. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Let's talk. Can't get more personal than that, right? So make sure you really personalize and don't pitch. Okay. Then keep it short, under 90 seconds for sure. Sweet spot between 50 and 70. EMEA and APAC is about 60 seconds. Okay. And Northam, we see, or LATAM, we don't have separate Brazil or South America. We don't have data on that specifically, but we see North America. We see about 45 to 50 seconds is the sweet spot. Okay. Fifth, offer to provide value. Don't actually give the value in this specific video, right? Especially when you're prospecting. It's kind of like a movie trailer, right? The whole idea is that you want to say like, look, I'm on your site or I'm on your profile. We work with a lot of companies like you. I have a lot of data, I have a lot of benchmarks, case studies on how we help companies similar to you. How about I show you that and let's get in touch? That's a trailer. It's just like a movie, right? You don't want to spill all the beans about how you're the best or how you know, all your awards you won, all that stuff. That's a pitch. That doesn't work. You want people to get intrigued to book a meeting and take a next step with you. That works really well. Okay. Then the last two is forget perfection. That takes a little bit of time, Alex. Same for me, right? When we started creating videos in the beginning, couple takes until you feel like, okay, the video is good to go. But the whole idea is that you should just be natural, just be human. In the same way that when you are all on Zoom calls or team calls, etc., right? You're just speaking to a camera, same way here. And that's how you make it scalable.
Can I jump in?
Yeah,
I actually remember my first videos, and now sometimes I like scroll down to my Vidyard library and I sometimes look at them, or I don't know, like trying to find some use case, and I sound so robotic, and it's just so funny how, but it takes exactly like your next step. Do at least 100 of them, then this kind of robotic person who seems like he's reading from the script, this act actually disappears, and you're more natural, more confident with what you're saying.
Absolutely. And that's a good point. Practice makes perfect, as with everything. Remember your first 20 cold calls that we did? They were terrible, right? Mine were, right? Same thing with your videos. It takes time. Okay. So do 100 of these. It's not a lot. That's 5 a day, 25 in a week. That's 100 in a month. You'll become really good at this and you'll start getting way more responses. So we did an analysis, as I said, 3 to 6x. For example, if you're in the SaaS space in software, Reply is, we saw that an average increase in response rate was about 4 times in using video as opposed to text-based when we did benchmarks, which is insane. Okay. So Alex, do I have time to maybe in 2-3 minutes show everybody how to actually create a video? Would that be okay?
Yes, that's fine. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure I don't eat up too much of your time here, obviously. So for the people that have never done this, I want to show you how to do it and how easy it is to do this. Okay, so you'll be able to do this within Reply, and Alex is going to talk about it. You can try Reply out for free. You can try out Vidyard for free. You also have a free Chrome extension of Vidyard that you can find and download. Okay, so if you do that, you have a Chrome extension right here where you literally can click immediately. It's a 3-click process. Right? I can immediately, I have a layer here. I can make my bubble bigger if I want to. Okay, I can make it smaller. That's click number 1, right? The moment I'm ready, and you can record anything, a website, a PDF, a PowerPoint, whatever you want, right? Second click is you press start recording. Okay, you just select, in this case, I'll just select the whole screen. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody's on camera right now. All right, now we're recording. Very simple. So I can scroll through. I say, hey, I'm on your website. I'm on the Reply website. I see how it's supercharging your sales team, right? I would love to talk to you. And then when you're done, here in the bottom right, you see an actual timer. And that's the final click, which is just to press stop. Done. That's it. Open, start record, press stop. Very quick process. And if you practice this, and Alex can talk about that as well, you can create a video, send it to a prospect, record the whole thing, put it in an email or in a reply sequence, 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. Same as writing a personal email, right? There it is. So now I can say, hi, Alex, short video for you. Short video for you. I can put it in an email, right? I can share it on LinkedIn if I want to. I can also animate it, by the way, so I can take the first 3 seconds. Okay, there it is, ready to go. Super easy process. Okay, so I'll show you, and then actually Alex can show you what that looks like when you do it together with like Reply. So she'll do that, but I just wanted to show you how easy of a 3-click process it is to create those videos. Okay, that was it from my side. I'll stop sharing my screen. Alex, do you want to take it over again?
Yes, I'm
okay.
ready.
Perfect.
Okay, let me then share mine. The correct tab. Okay, perfect. So now that we have recorded the video, and as you can see on my browser, I also have the Vidyard icon, both Reply and Vidyard icons here. They're my go-to ones on a daily basis. So now that we've recorded the video, we've kind of come up with the approach, how we're doing that. How do we send it over? So what you're seeing right now here is just a sample reply campaign. And like I have the two of my first steps are actually automatic emails, and then I have a manual email sample step for you as well, kind of a different ways of how you can send the video from the reply sequence. So let's say you start with maybe just a plain text intro personalized email to your prospect, along with, of course, like a LinkedIn profile view and so on. This is just kind of a simple task with just only showing emails. And when you're sending a follow-up, there is a way, well, of course, there are different use cases. For some of the use cases, it's okay for the video to be generic. And this is something that we'll cover later. But for these kinds of automatic emails within your sequence, what you can do, I've actually included that already earlier today while I was practicing, but how this is actually done. So right here within your reply template, you have this little video button that sends directly to your Vidyard library. You can see all of the videos that I have recorded here. So if you recorded them beforehand, you can pull from there or record them directly from here. Add them to your emails. When you're actually using this approach that Yaniv was mentioning, where you're going to their LinkedIn profile, recording a personalized video for every single lead within your campaign, then it is done via manual email step in your sequence. So this is how you would add this manual email template to your sequence. Whenever it's time to send it, it's actually created as a task for you in the Chrome extension here. Like I said, another go-to extension on my browser. So here while you're completing your other tasks along with the manual email task with your video, manual emails. So here, how I usually send it, right? I have my template that I already prepared beforehand. I have everything in place. All of my variables have already been applied. This way it's done a bit differently. I would just go back to my Vidyard library, copy. I always actually do this animated thumbnails. They seem more natural, more fun. They can see you smiling, because when it's just just a picture, it's usually kind of in a bad not in the best light, but I love these animated ones. So I copy the link and thumbnail from here, paste it directly into my manual email, and then just send it within, I don't know, 10 seconds, right? It doesn't take more than half a minute to do this whole process together. And now boom, and I got the email out already. Okay. After the email has been sent, Yaniv, can you share like what kind of stats do we get within Vidyard? How do we analyze how effective the video is?
So we can, if you want, we can actually look at that specifically,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I can actually, I'll just open that library so you can see that. Okay, here we go. So I will share my screen now again. 1 second. All right. So first of all, you'll get within Vidyard, when you click that little green button of ours, right, you'll actually get notifications that show who actually watched your video and how much. And this is gold, right? So here on the right, you'll see like this little button here. So you can see that here. You can see now here who watched your video on a name level and how much. That's amazing, right? Because if I sent out a video from a prospecting perspective and I know that somebody watched my video, if I try to call that person right now, that conversation is going to be completely different, right? Alex watched my video, I'll call her, I'll be like, hey, Alex, it's Yaniv, the actor, you know, from the video. What do you think of my acting skills, right? And then she'll be like, why are you stalking me? How do you know I watched that video? And I'll be like, well, that's my software. And then, you know, we have a funny conversation, right? Versus outbound, like, who are you and why are you calling me, right? They've already, with a video, if you call them after, they've seen your face, they heard your voice, they know you're trying to be helpful, you're friendly. changes the dynamic of having a conversation afterwards, right? So this exists. You have these analytics. Now you can go even more granular where you can actually see how much and which parts of the video have been watched by those contacts. So for example, here, green parts mean that part has been watched once. Gray means hasn't been watched at all. Yellow means it has been watched twice. And red parts means 3 or more times. So you can, if you send out 50 videos, for example, right, you can prioritize. So if you know you're going to go after the ones that you know have watched your videos most, right, because they're most likely to convert versus someone that has never watched it. Or if you send out a little product demo or something like that, and you see that people watch specific areas, that's a point of interest to them. So you can focus and hone in on that. So that's the way it works.
Awesome. Perfect stuff. That's something that I was struggling in the beginning as I just started recording my videos, is to analyze, like, see, am I actually starting in the right place? Am I using the right script? Are they watching it? But my favorite part is when the number of views is actually spikes, and I can tell that the whole team is watching my video right after I
Yeah, exactly, which is really cool.
Yeah, regarding like the responses, I don't think I've ever gotten a negative response after a video. Like I do get sometimes you're stalking me if I do like message them on LinkedIn, or at least I even haven't had a chance to message them on LinkedIn yet, where I send them an email, maybe call, and then at least view the profile. I can get an email saying, why you're stalking me? Like stop doing that. But with video, I've never actually gotten that. So if you guys, it's just fun. Like if anyone has gotten that, just share with us. I'd like to know kind of if there is anything to be aware of when it comes to negative feedback on the video. Right, so I can share my screen. So now that we can analyze the video itself, right, see how many times it's been watched, which parts of the video has been watched, you can also analyze the results of how well your sequence is doing altogether, right? Because we will be using video as part of the email along with the other email follow-ups and phone call follow-ups, LinkedIn follow-ups as well. So within Reply, you always get these stats that show you your delivery rate, your open rate, your interested rate, and also your replies, and the interested replies. So you can always tell how effective your sequencing is doing in terms of replies, because as you said, right, as I saw someone mention in the chat earlier, I get 5 negative replies, right? So yeah, you can have a 5% reply rate, but if they're not interested reply rate, there's not so much you can do with them afterwards. So you get this insight here, and also you get more detailed stats per every step in your sequence. Here I just have like a short 3-step sequence where you can always see how effective every step in your sequence is, and then once you add the video, you can either A/B test this or try multiple sequences, and then always tell what happens on the step 3, let's say, or sorry, step 2 on day 3. Once you've added video, how much do your interested rates actually spike after that? And interested and replies as well. So there, definitely all of the kind of tools available to you to see how effective the video is on its own, and within the campaign itself, how it changes the dynamic of the campaign once it's been included there. Okay, now that we've covered this, I think we've mostly kind of touched on the prospecting side, right? How we use video with the cold prospects. But now we'll kind of jump into more use cases, right? What kind of videos we can record while prospecting, what kind of videos we can also make later on when our prospect is already in the pipeline, when the sales cycle already started, and then also post close of the deal. So let's start with the prospecting ones for now. I will cover the use cases that we use in Reply. Yaniv, just feel free to add more, the ones that you use with the Vidyard team. So within Reply, for our outbound campaigns, we do use videos a lot. We do record personalized videos. We do use videos for our inbound high priority leads. That way, we don't record them for everyone. We usually record video as a second or third step in the sequence, just to make sure we're actually being effective with our time, and we are recording videos for people who actually engaging with our emails and at least open the first one. That now we know that we're not going to record it and kind of be left, with nothing, with them not even opening the email. But of course, a good way would be then to maybe follow up via LinkedIn, to send them connect request. If they accept it, we can follow up with a video on the LinkedIn. We use video for the prospects that download our content also as an introduction, personalized videos, and after the demo request, right? Let's say someone sends a demo request. It's a good way to do a personal introduction to kind of prevent them from maybe then skipping the meeting. Now that they've signed up, they get a video from you where you're introducing yourself, maybe covering the agenda of what you will be speaking about on the demo call to kind of get them prepared. I actually love this approach because this way, you having them prepare something for the call while you'll be preparing it as well. And this way your discovery demo call is already like a collaboration, right? There won't be just like passive listeners, coming just to, okay, let's hear you talk. Let's hear what you have to say. This way they know that you're expecting them to prepare. So they'll be more engaging as well during the demo. Here you're also like on the screen here, you can see the examples of these videos, like myself recording a video with the LinkedIn profile and William from my team recording an outbound video. Any other use cases I maybe missed that you do at Vidyard, Yaniv?
Those are the most important ones. The other one is indeed like to reduce no-show rates. And that's to your point already, like specifically if you have SDRs that book for account executives, right? Once they actually book the meeting, and that's just in what you already mentioned there, they always will send up a follow-up video, say like, hey, this is going to be your account executive. You'll speak to Alex. And that significantly reduces the likelihood of them not showing up on meetings because they feel like, wow, they're really putting effort into me coming to that meeting. And then it creates that reciprocality effect, right? Where they feel like, okay, I have to show up. I can't kind of not flake after they made me that video. So that's an important one.
For sure, that's an awesome example. That's also something that we do. We call it an SDRA handoff because we have SDRs who do prospecting, reach out to inbound and outbound leads. And very often, like they would already create some kind of relationship with the prospect, right? Because they recorded the video, the prospect already knows them. Now, like they have to hand them over to somebody else who they've never met. So for sure, these sort of handoff videos do a great job to ensure to lower the no-show rates for sure. After the demo, a good thing to do is to maybe record a quick demo recap as a follow-up. Let's say if maybe not everyone from the team was able to attend the meeting, and quite often they actually, the prospects ask, oh, can you, by the way, send me the recording of the call? But the recording is usually what? At least 30 minutes long, right? 30, 45, sometimes 60 when the conversation just kind of kept going. So there is really a low chance of them watching that hour-long video. So a good idea would be to do a quick demo recap, mention the use cases, like their use case and how your solution actually kind of jumps in and helps them solve the pain point that you came to you with. Another thing is that throughout the sales process, right? Let's say you got your prospect already kind of interested in the platform. Maybe they're evaluating it. Maybe there is a trial that they're already doing. A good thing to ensure a safe closing of the deal would be to educate the users at this particular stage now. That way we do also recommend using, like creating this educational features videos for the prospects. Here I have an example of a Salesforce integration. So we have a native integration with Salesforce, but it's not always straightforward on how to use it. So I do have this video that I share with my users. Or let's say we have some new features that just came out and kind of compare, right, this approach where you send them the support article text based on, okay, follow these instructions, do so and so, versus the video where you're saying, hi, James, recorded this video for you. Okay, so since you need to use your integration, your Salesforce integration in this way, okay, let me show you exactly how you can do this. And I don't mind it. Like it will take, I don't know, 3-5 minutes tops. I don't know, maybe they should be shorter. I usually cannot make them shorter than 5 minutes, but like educating the user does help a lot with getting them more familiar, more comfortable with the product, and then ending up actually purchasing the solution. Another thing, this is actually George from my team. He's gotten really comfortable and really happy with using video when handling objection, right? Same way, right? How much better it is to record a video, sit down, also kind of show your, kind of getting back to those 4 E's, right, that you mentioned. You're being emotional, you're being humane, right? this way you kind of lay down again the same value prop, provide a good explanation for certain concerns that they might be having, rather than just sending a plain text email, you know, that they cannot see the emotion behind it. And it's kind of, I would say it's easier to ignore than your personalized approach when you're sending them the video. Okay, so for mid-sale cycle where we use video, I think that's it for now. Right, now jump into the close and the post-sale. Oh, another one, proposal, right? Can you touch on that a bit, Yaniv?
Absolutely. So it's in fact the proposal, sending out the proposal. It's actually with Vidyard and a lot of the companies that we work with, it's the number two use case that we see people using video for. Okay, so a lot of us right now, when we're sending out proposals, or maybe we're sending out our documents, like maybe our DocuSign or something like that, a lot of it is text-based, right? A lot of you will be sending out PDFs, right? You'll do your presentation, your solution, and then afterwards, you'll send your PDF or your PowerPoint to your champion, okay? And then not always do we speak to the real decision maker, right? Or maybe one person of the whole decision-making group. So your status quo right now is that you're sending out a proposal that's PDF to your champion, who's going to then take that PDF to the, you know, Monday morning boardroom meeting. And then you have your fingers crossed that your champion is going to sell that proposal well during that board meeting, right? We lose control there. If they need a sign off from a CFO or an MD or maybe a whole board to your solution, you essentially can do an amazing job through your process, but then you're essentially handing it off and then hoping that your champion is going to be able to do it as effectively as you do it in your role, right? Now, the reality is that that's almost never the case, right? So where video is so effective is that you can regain control over those conversations that are happening behind closed doors. So you can say to your champion, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Champion, let me make a quick video for you that you can show to your CFO or to the MD or to the CEO or whoever, that highlights the challenges that you told me you have, the solutions that we have that are going to solve these challenges, and the pricing that justifies that. How about you show that? So now instead of the CFO with a PDF going to the last page and seeing how much your proposal costs, now they actually get the full picture. So you're aligning everybody in the conversation, which is an absolute game changer. So you regain control in a conversation that you can be part of it. So what I do when I send out those videos as well, right? Sometimes I know it's going to go to the CFO. So I look up the CFO's name, right? Let's say Oleg is the CFO. I'll even make the video. Hi, Alex, and hi, Oleg. Nice to meet you as well. I'm making this video for you, Mr. CFO. Reason for that is because I want you to know the conversation that I've had with Alex so far regarding ABC. Game changer. CFO has never received something like that. So that is another thing, right? They're going to be like, wow, that's amazing, right? It will help you with close rates. Okay. We did a study with Proposify, released last month. Okay. They analyzed, which is one of the proposal tools like DocuSign, Proposify, you have PandaDoc. They analyzed 2 million proposals. 2 million. Close rate of proposals with video was 41% higher than close rates with text-based proposals. A whopping number. So give that a go. Super easy to start with, and it's going to be a game changer for you.
I'll be the first one to actually start using it because
do it.
I do use it on the use cases that I described to you, but the proposals are usually done, like with our solution, they're usually done just via email. It's pretty straightforward, but I do really see an awesome point here, and that only I can deliver like the whole value prop to the CFO than the champion, because he's just gotten kind of familiar with my tool. So he definitely, I have a much higher chance of winning them over. Awesome.
For sure. Plus you're doing something that your competitors are not, right? They're probably looking at 3-4 solutions. All of us are in competitive spaces. Now you're suddenly the only one that does that. Boom, immediately differentiates yourself.
Definitely. Right. So we're talking about proposal, but after the deal has been closed, where else can we use video?
Yeah, absolutely. So in close sale, there's so many places where you can use video, right? Like rule of thumb this, right? If your email is more than 4 lines, right? Regardless if it's sales or not, just make a video. You know, like it takes you less time to do it. The likelihood that your prospect or your colleague or somebody will appreciate and like it and understand and absorb the information is much higher, right? So that's a rule of thumb for us. Our leadership, we don't even have those. Well, we still do here and there stand-ups, but a lot of the updates from our CEO, video, send it to the whole team. We watch it whenever we have a moment. So it's a time saver for him. It's a time saver for us. right? So a lot of us are, for example, we're on Zoom and team calls, you know, the whole day, you know, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 calls a day, right? Some of these calls are internal meetings that, you know, whatever the content is, could have been said in 5 minutes. So why not make a video? Yeah. Save yourself time, save your team members some time, right? So that's a very big use case. So that's for internal use case. So that's not even for sales. But then from a sales perspective, the biggest one in post sale is like handoffs, right? You said handoffs. Hey, this is a person who's going to be working with you. Other things that you can do is cross sell, upsell, and resell, right? Hey, good to see you, Alex. I know your renewal is almost coming up. I've seen you've done amazing with our tool through the first year. Let's have a conversation. I can show you some of the new features that we released this year. Maybe that might be a benefit for you, and we could talk about your renewal. Bang. Video, immediately you make it very easy for somebody to say like, oh yeah, no, I would love to have a conversation, versus the generic, oh yeah, your email, your renewal is coming up. Big thing. Also for cross-sell, upsell, right? Hey, I want to show you a new feature here in a higher SKU that I think will be beneficial for you. Let me show it to you. If you want to talk about it, book some time with me. It's a very powerful one as well. Or you can do things like congratulating people on raising funds, on promotions, on birthdays, so we see people, I mean, we have a huge inspiration app. We have people that like hold up their dog and, you know, put like hats on it and then say happy birthday with their dog in their hand. And you're thinking that might be silly, but on the other hand is you're building a relationship, right? You can't, especially now, we're still in kind of this motion of working remote. You can actually build relationships in a very human way after you've done the sale by creating videos in that way. So those are just a couple examples. There are a bunch more, but those are the main ones.
Hey, I just had one question kind of come up
Yeah.
because I did start recording videos when all of this kind of remote working started. Did the videos change throughout like 2020? Did they used to be more formal, more from the office space, open space, and now they're more like home recorded and everybody is more comfortable with that? I'm just thinking, what if I recorded a video from home like a year and a half ago? Would everyone think that I'm, you know, not a solid salesperson?
Yeah, it's a good point. So definitely. I mean, the majority of videos that were recorded were not from the home, right? So they were from office settings. But since obviously everybody got to home, it became completely fine to make videos and record from your home, from your kitchen, from your bathroom even, right? We have people that send us video from the bathroom. We're like, what are you doing? You know, that is a bit, a bit too extreme. But yeah, exactly. But no, it became a much more of a standard from the home. And to preempt a objection that comes up always with video, right, is like, oh yeah, but I'm not good in front of a camera, right? Prior to COVID and prior to lockdowns, that was for some people a real concern, right? They're never on camera, they're in an office, right? They don't like to be in this whole digital whatever space. Now everybody essentially got forced, right, that has these types of jobs, got forced to be on camera the whole time. So that actually helped a lot of people to overcome that challenge and start to create video in their communications with people, right? So in that sense, it really helped people to communicate with each other in a human way using video because we were all working from home.
Yeah, and every now and then somebody has a dog barking. Or I don't have a pet right now, but I have a children's playground outside, and now and then, like every now and then, when I'm recording a video, you can hear this kid screaming outside, and I guess like I just keep it that way. You know, we're all human. We all recording from where we are. We all work. Most of us still work from home, right? Due to the way the situation is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's kind of fun. I stay natural. I don't try to overdo it and being, you know, too Hollywood like. So no Hollywood videos.
No, and to your point, right? You can still be professional, right? I mean, we're in software, which is obviously a little bit. I mean, but we have companies in banking, in law firms, in finance that are suited up making videos, right? And still convey a personal message while being from home. So this works for the people that are saying, "Oh yeah." Also, I'm preempting objections here again, right? Because I know these questions always come, like, "Oh yeah, it's not going to work in my industry." Or it's not going to work in my country. First of all, we see this being done worldwide, okay? And secondly, if you're in an industry that's traditional, right? Talking about the law firms, the accounting firms, the certain financial services firms, even construction, right? Something like that. You're right. This is something very different and unique, which is amazing. Because you can do something that no one else in your industry is doing.
Exactly.
right?
They have the chance to stand out, right? They hire the chance to stand out.
Bigger, way bigger chance. And we see in the majority of industries, except for maybe Silicon Valley, California, right? There you see a lot of reps already sending out videos, right? But other than that, this is in the bell curve of adoption. This is like the first, this just got into this early adopter motion, right? Just getting to maybe, or like early majority, but we projected that's only going to happen in about 2 years' time.
Yep. I think it's also a good point to get better and more professional, more comfortable with recording the videos before everyone else does, because right, people are starting to use it more and more. While they're still learning how to deliver proper videos, you can already be recording like really effective ones.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Okay, we're almost about to jump into our Q&A. Before we do so, I just wanted to give you like a quick surprise. We decided to do this quick contest. If you guys want to try, if you've never like recorded a video and you want to try that and you don't know where to start, what kind of campaigns to create, how to use video throughout your campaigns, so go ahead, record a quick 60 to 90 second max video for me. Just tell me about your product, your solution, how I can benefit it, but not really just me, but let's say Reply as a company can benefit from that, because I'm an AE, right? There's not so much, not so much that I need. So just look how my company can benefit from your solution. Just spend some time, try it out. The one that I like most, that I find the most creative, and the one that actually gets me interested, I'll reach out back to you and we'll just schedule a one-on-one. We'll create a trial for you within Reply. We'll create a free account for you within Vidyard, and we'll just walk you through this process. So we'll do a one-on-one session. Okay.
Absolutely. Good CTA, in my opinion, right? I mean, obviously it is a CTA, but you're already on this webinar, right? So you're already registered. But in this sense, right, you can try out both Reply for free as well as Vidyard for free. You can just download it straight, for example, our Chrome extension, create your video straight away. For the people that have never done it, super easy click process. And the reason why we're doing this contest, obviously beyond us wanting to start conversations with you about it, is that you have to try doing this, right? That's the only way to get going with this. The only way for you to feel how people respond to a video is by actually just doing it, right? The anecdotes for me, right? I think over now 4 years, I started doing this in 2016, 17, right? I've sent close to 12,000 videos, right? That's insane. I mean, I don't do this for a hobby. No, maybe now I do it as a hobby because I've done so many of them, right? But I didn't do this because I was like, yeah, let me make a ton of videos for no reason, right? The reason why we're doing it, why Reply is doing it, where we see more companies are doing it, is because it's by far the most effective channel to drive more engagement compared to all the other channels that everybody else is also using and everybody else is also doing. You're immediately standing out, you're humanizing, you're being empathetic, right? And the only way for you to experience it is to send it out to a colleague, send it out to a customer, send it out to a prospect, and then see how they respond to you. And that will motivate you to start doing a lot of those. So that's why we were creating this, for you to actually give it a go. Okay, you can do it for free. Okay.
Yep. So I actually look forward to getting your videos, guys. I would be the person who would have responded no into the first question that we asked in the beginning of the webinar, saying who's ever received a video. So I haven't. So I'll be excited to get some from you. Okay.
That'd be really cool.
Okay, so let's see if we have any questions. I think it's time, right, to jump to the Q&A, right? A good 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, feel free to put in some questions in the chat. I saw some other questions that I can already answer here. I think Greg asked email deliverability with links and videos. So I already answered it in the chat, but I'll re-answer it again. So first of all, when you send out the video, right, via email, via LinkedIn, for example, you're not actually sending out the video file. You're sending just out an image and just a link. If you're unsure if the image is going to get caught in a spam filter, you can just send the link, right? That increases deliverability, right? In the same way that you can send a regular text-based link out, right? In an email. Now, obviously there are spam filters who catch everything, right? They even, when the moment an external email comes, there's like these banners, external email, don't open, right? That's a trend. There's some industries which are more and more stringent on that. Your best workaround, LinkedIn. You can share videos straight to LinkedIn. You can even with Vidyard, and there is even a Vidyard button in LinkedIn. We released that 2 weeks ago, so you can create your video straight in there as well. Okay. Great thing about LinkedIn for now, anyway, open rates are amazing, right? Response rate, not so much, right? Because we all get those connection requests and then 5 minutes later, some lame pitch, right? You're like, why, what are you doing? But if that pitch is a video, your likelihood suddenly becomes bigger to get the conversation going, right? So use LinkedIn, because open rates are great and click-through and engagement rates are higher in those industries where you know that your emails are not being opened.
For sure. I see Sam's question regarding like putting video links in the first email. That's something that we stay away from. We would start first with just a plain text email to do a strong intro, and then we would send a video in the second one. Because yeah, for the first one there might be issues, and especially like if they're already not open in the emails, you know, there isn't a higher chance for, there isn't a chance for you, or like, sorry, I mean the chance is lower for you to kind of get them to read it in the follow-up email. And for sure, if you're sending it from a campaign, you have this visibility into the open rate. You can tell if they haven't opened your email, boom, LinkedIn. So exactly what Yaniv said here.
Yeah. It's a very good point. And there are a variety of ways, right? I mean, for Reply, it works to have first text and then video. In other industries, it works to start out with video first. It depends a little bit. And the best way to do it is to use a tool like Reply, right? Because then you can actually analyze. You can see, hey, which sequence is working best, right? Which emails are being opened most, which are being responded to most, right? That will then help inform you, hey, what is the path that I should take that generates most responses and most meetings being booked for me, okay? Let's see if there's any other question. So, but yes, no, we don't. I mean, we have a super high deliverability rate. So for us, I mean, like we work with the largest software companies in the world, right? Cisco, LinkedIn, Microsoft, Facebook, and they send out videos like en masse to a ton of their customers, and our deliverability rates stay in line with their standard messaging. So no issues there whatsoever. Yeah. In free, Maria's asking the free version of Vidyard, can you see all those specific results? So you get the notifications to see who watched your video. The more granular details on like heat maps, who watched what and how much, that's paid functionality, okay? Then let's see.
Camilla was asking, do we need to download Vidyard? Is it an extension of Reply? You don't need to download it, you just need to install the extension in your Chrome. Like we showed, you can have your Reply separate, your Reply account is separate, your Vidyard, you just need the Chrome extension to record the videos easily.
Correct. So you can, I would recommend to try it together, right? So you can use automatic follow-up, but if you want to use it separately, just type in Vidyard free Chrome extension. And if you don't use Chrome, you can also use our desktop app. So you can use it both on Mac as well as on Windows.
I see Cyril's question about the next features. Are you asking about Reply, or are you asking about Vidyard, or do we cover?
You can answer yours if you want, and I'll answer. I mean, we do a ton, but go ahead.
For us, I'll just start that the ones that are about to come out would be our warm-up feature, because we have a lot of users coming to Reply being brand new to the outreach, and they come with brand new email accounts, and deliverability is really important. It's important to start with good warmed up accounts to get better results, to get the emails delivered into the inbox, and not to mess up your reputation with Gmail or other email provider. And that's something that our users have been looking forward to, is to have a warm-up feature within Reply, so you can come kind of fresh, not ready, and we'll get you to the point where you're ready to start your outreach right away, in like starting from good volumes of emails that are being sent. So that's something that's almost out. And another thing is also a big thing for us that we've really brought ourselves, we are building a native LinkedIn automation right now. It's going to be an integration with another tool. So that's something for now. We had a way when it's semi-automatic. It's still a good way, and a lot of our users like it that way, and they will be able to stick with the old way. But for people who really prefer LinkedIn to be fully automated, during the summer, we're going to have our LinkedIn automation available as well. Okay.
Very cool. Cool functionality. Yeah, Sam, good question. Loom versus Vidyard, different reasons. In terms of the base recording functionality, it's kind of like Samsung versus iPhone, right? Whatever as your preference. There's some more functionality on paid that differentiates the both of us in terms of integration, features, functionality, but it's a bit out of the scope of this webinar. If that's something that interests you, feel free to email me, or I'll connect you to anybody of our sales team, and they can answer those questions.
I think for me, I started using Vidyard first. I got introduced to Vidyard before I got introduced to Loom. So I'm so comfortable with it. Now I also have Loom, but I don't know how to do anything there. And I see that's pretty much the same functionality. So I'm like, okay, I already know how to use that one. I'm comfortable with Vidyard. So yeah, no, it's good.
Perfect. So Kirsty is asking, we get this recording? Absolutely. Cyril, we have a ton of things on the roadmap. I don't have time to go through everything right now. Again, feel free to email me. I'll send you a bunch of resources so you can have a look at what's coming out, etc. Happy to answer those questions.
Yep, so we'll send you guys the recording. So look out for the recording after the webinar. We will send you over the deck, so you will be able to see these use cases. We also have some resources included in the deck. And from Reply team, we also put together an ebook on video prospecting. So be on the lookout for that one as well. Okay.
Great. Thanks, everybody. I hope you found it inspiring, useful. Hope we triggered a little bit the idea of getting started with video, using it together with also automated reach out and sequences. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. We're always happy to help. And otherwise, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I don't know, it depends on where you are. Have a great day. Really nice to be here.
It was a blast, actually, for me, my first experience like this, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, everyone for participating. Yaniv, you are such an awesome co-host. It was a great pleasure for me.
Likewise, really enjoyed it, Alex. We'll do it again soon.
We will, not once we get some more, some more tricks up our sleeves that we can share for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.